Today, I'm in the wood yard. I've got a delivery and somebody wants some birch. Here we go. So today's first activity is going to be delivering some wood. I got someone that wants 2 face cords or 2/3 of a cord of oak. Longtime customer, they buy 2 loads every year. Sometimes they even get 3. They have been buying wood from me for at least 6 or 7 years. They're one of my original customers. I remember I delivered to them the first time with a little bitty cargo trailer that I had that was, just a little 5x8 utility type trailer, and we'd always unloaded it and stacked it right from the trailer. So now I just dump it in the garage and I go. So I'm going to be delivering that, and then on the same trip, hopefully, I'm going to get a hold of a guy that wants a bunch of birch that I have cut for ornamental type purposes for him. He wants it for decorating by his fireplace, or I think his wife does. But I'm going to be delivering that. A lot of that wood went to a place where my daughter works. They used them to hang up products. They hung a bunch of poles for them from the ceiling with some jute rope, and then they're going to hang a bunch of products from that. And then I cut a whole bunch of cookies. I cut probably, oh boy, I must have cut 50, 60 cookies, and they used them for all their display products, for putting all their bottles and potions and mixes and all that kind of stuff. It's for a shop that sells beautiful stuff. So I'm going to be delivering that hopefully at the same trip, and so we're going to get busy. I'm going to go load some wood right now. So here's the birch. I loaded it up in the back of my truck because in the trailer is where I'm going to put the wood that I'm going to dump. And the reason I'm bringing up this birch is that besides firewood, which birch is nice for, it's very popular for decorating and ornamental purposes right now. I was at a local store just the other day, and they had a bundle of 3 pieces of birch that were all about, like the size of this one right here, like 3 inches across, something like that, kind of tiny. They had a bundle of 3 of them with a bow on it for $29.99. Yeah, 3 pieces of wood. So there's good money in decorating with wood. It's real popular now for people to use chunks of wood for decorating, for like at weddings, anniversaries, parties, just in their house. So if you can find a way to get into that market, I think it's pretty lucrative, because you can charge a lot more than even for bundle wood. I mean, because it's for decorating. So I did a wedding, probably about 7-8 years ago, where I cut a whole bunch of cookies and slabs and chunks of maple and cherry is what they wanted. They didn't want birch, they wanted darker wood. And there was probably a good, I would say 300 pounds of wood that was cut into cookies and slabs and things they use for decorating. And I made like $100 for that. And it was not hard at all. I just cut off chunks of wood. And then the people that bought it from me, I talked to them later, they resold the wood. They put it on Facebook Marketplace and resold it after their wedding. So there is a demand for the product. So there's a little something to think about. Another product idea. Decorations. So now we're going to go load some oak. So this pile that I backed up to is the wood that I just covered the other night because all the rain we had the last couple of days, and there's a bunch of frozen ice up on top of there. So now I got to peel all this off and I can start chucking. And this is for 2 face cords or 2/3 of a cord. It's in. It took about 13 minutes of chucking, so that's where it was. So I got one roll left, or a third of a cord if you want to call it that, or you could even call it a face cord, because that's what we call it. Because there it is. So 2/3 or 2 face cords are in, and we're gonna go on the road and deliver it right now. So my next order is for a face cord or a third of a cord of a mix of the good stuff. That's what the guy wants. I sell to this guy every year. He always buys 2 or 3 face cords a year. And he told me he's ready for his winter supply because he always gets some for the summer too. But he said, in the past I've sold him just maple, I've sold him just cherry, I've sold him just oak. He said he liked all of them. And so he said, could I just throw a little bit of everything into the mix? So that's what I'm going to do. So I got a little bit of maple right here. I'm going to throw that in. Then I'm going to throw a little bit of cherry in right over there. And then I think I might throw some ash in, because I don't know if he's ever had ash before, so I'll throw some of that in. So he's going to get a little bit of everything. So we're going to throw it in right now. There it is. It is in. I put in first maple, and I backed up over here, and this was a bunch of ash, and there's a little bit of poplar, but mainly ash. And then this pile over here, I took a bunch of cherry from, so it's all loaded up. So there it is, ready to go and be delivered to a happy customer. Down the road we go again. I am back in the wood yard for my last delivery, and I don't have any more scheduled. I might get a call, but between now and then, I'm going to do some work in the wood yard. So the other day I raked up some of this debris here, and I got piles all through here that I raked up, and I never picked them up. So I'm going to get those picked up and dump those back into the woods where I dump all the stuff. I don't know, there's another pile, a couple piles up here I have to get picked up. This one here, that one there, that one there. I want to get those all picked up. But before I do that, I have the grapple on. And before I change into the bucket, what I'm going to do is I am going to go into my dirt piles, because some of you suggested that I take the grapple and kind of loosen up the dirt a little bit. So I'm going to give it a try. I've never done it before, and that might be kind of cool. Oh, look at here, there's a woodchuck hole. Look at that. There's a nest in there and everything. I can see all kinds of grass in there. I must have displaced a rodent. That's okay. I didn't want him here anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna grab some of this stuff and just kind of loosen it up, see if the grapple works for that, because a couple of you suggested that. I've never done it before. I'm sure it'll work. It'll maybe loosen it up a little bit. And now I'm gonna switch over to the bucket. I'll pick up that debris that I've got, dump that, and then I'll move a little bit of dirt because I've got at least a couple hours of daylight left here. So that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna do a little tractor work. So what I just did was basically tear up my yard. I had a pile of wood right here that was probably like 3-4 years old. It was all rotten, nasty crap. So that's why I've been scooping up and dumping back there, because I want to be able to get to the berm right through here and clean this edge up right along this pile here and then work my way that direction. So I want to get all this stuff cleaned up. But I'm just tearing the snot out of this because it just rained yesterday, so it's pretty soft. I'm going to quit while it's bad already, but I don't make it any worse. So I'm going to go over to the other side where the dirt is, because that won't matter. I just don't want to dig this all up any worse than it is. I'm going to dig from the other side and dump it over there. So I'm going to go over there and do some work now. Well, there, I dug in the dirt for, I don't know, 40 minutes or so, not too long. I got a stump right here, and there's a stump right there, I think, somewhere I have to get out of here. Right here you can see where the tree is starting to grow up a little bit. I have to get that dug out. There's a big root right here, so, but I don't want to knock my piles over, so I have to approach that from this direction. And I'm almost through to the other side. Right over there is where I was digging before, tearing the yard up, so I'm right on the edge here. And then I can just go that direction and get the rest of this cleared out, and then this will all be opened up, and I'll be able to get another 3-4 truckloads in this space once I get it done. So kind of picking away in it a little bit at a time, which is kind of nice. Some guys have told me, oh, why don't you just hire someone to come in and do it? Well, what fun would that be? I just spent tens of thousands of dollars on a tractor. I'm supposed to just sit there and rub it with a diaper? No, I'm going to use it. That's what it's for. Plus, the more I use it, the better I'm getting with it. I want to learn how to use the bucket, the loader, the grapple. I want to learn the tractor. So doing this, I'm getting better and better all the time now. I've got just a little over 40 hours on the tractor total time ever. So I feel like I'm starting to get the hang of it. I kind of know what to do, and it's working pretty good. And it's fun. It's a lot of fun. So that's it for today, folks. I am done. It's starting to get dark out. It's getting cold. It's supposed to snow tonight. That's not good. We're supposed to get 1 to 3 inches, I guess, in the next couple days. So but then I'm supposed to warm up. I'm done for today. You're going to come back tomorrow. I'm going to be here back tomorrow, and it'll be fun. We'll do some work. Between now and then, get outside, get cutting. Good night, Irene.